Okay, I'm going to stream for a short bit tonight, and I'm going to see how this goes. I've been kind of excited to give a try a thing I was thinking. I've got a bit of project stuff I've been fleshing out. So, mechanism to catalog read properties for a rule. So that's a thing I want to start to explore. I found out that I missed a chat. And that's really, it makes me sad. I don't get a lot of engagement on the channel while I stream, and so I worry about these things. But thanks to my friend Ella, I've got good feedback. I know that this works now. Okay. What have I got? What have I got here to try? I think I wanted this to start collecting the properties that it saw, and so it's no longer going to end up being a a read-only proxy builder, because that's only going to be part of its responsibilities. So it's also going to be collecting these, or perhaps perhaps that is not a second responsibility that it should have. Perhaps something else should do this. I think that sounds actually a little bit nice. If I had a thing, let me just start to prototype how it might work here. What am I going to call the thing? What do I call the thing? This is going to be a property use analyzer. It's not really going to be an analyzer. I don't know. Let's start here. I am positive I'm going to rename it later, but I need a name to start with. So, oops, and that was intended to be a test. So, let me grab expect. And let me describe the property use analyzer. And I think I don't want to start shoving a whole bunch of functionality in here. I think I really just need it to remember the property names that were referenced and then spit them back to me. So if I say well, it should exist. Let's make sure we have one. Let's make sure I can type. So, that ought to fail. Oops. Not defined. I'm shocked. Okay. Let me get it started in the right place, because I know where it's going to go here. Enelzire? That probably isn't right. That looks a little better. And let's pull it in. And that should pass. So what do I want this thing to do? It should accept a property. That sounds nebulous. Should receive a property to remember. If I create a new one of these, I would expect that the analyzer, what should we call this method? Register? Property. Let's start with register property. So we expect that to exist, and that will fail. So let me arrange these. Stick you down there. So what do I want this thing to do? Well, I've already sort of predicted a little bit of what I wanted this to do. So if I give it a thing, like a property, I don't really care anything else about it, just that this property was used in determining a condition. And how do I know the properties that were used in determining the condition? So I guess I would get known or get referenced properties. Maybe that returns an array of properties that I referenced. That ought to fail. Oh, wow, I went too far with the test. Sorry. Let's make it do the right thing. I didn't want a way to stash these. Does JavaScript have set semantics these days? Alright, we have a set, we can add to it. And entries gives us an iterator. Oh. Values? So how do I turn that iterator nicely into an array? Shall copy an array instance from an array-like or iterable object. That sounds like exactly what I want. All right, so we're gonna have a new set, and we're gonna put properties in the set. And when we're done, we're going to echo them back. I'm gonna get values. That's a method, and we're going to get an array from that set of values. That just might pass. Yeah. So of course we're going to want to test out these set mechanics. It should only register a property once. Here again. Oh yeah, thanks Pixelprod. Pixelprod.co. Gotta look at that window more often. I need to have it better in view. Sound would probably help me here. One day I'll figure that out. I just don't like wearing headphones while I'm doing this. I don't know, maybe I'm weird that way. So I don't really have speakers for my computer. I'll figure that out one day maybe too. Let's see. So let me, this is a dumb test now. Some of gonna use analyzer a lot. And now I can just do that. And actually it's the same expectation, isn't it? Ought to help us. Yeah. I suppose just to be complete, and I know this is going to pass already, it feels like I'm just yak shaving here, but I want to register 11.1 property. Let's put a message in, and let's call it a key. And And then we should expect that the analyzer I'm not sure I need deep equal here. I'm assuming that I do. And I'm also curious about the order of things. Because I'm sure that's going to work. But if I want to have like a deterministic kind of order, then perhaps I just want to do something simple here. I don't know, might just be sugar, but I'm good with that. Okay, let's just kind of pause here now. I need to use this thing. From here. So it's almost like, let's call this a property listener. Maybe. And the property listener probably is going to record that property. Now, here I am writing code, eh? Where's my tests? Okay. I want to watch it fail, so I'm just going to pull that line out. And I'm going to force myself to write that implementation. So it's like a whole nother aspect of this. Works with the property listener. And let's see. So it should register a property, a property usage. Sounds like maybe. Not being very hygienic about my single and double coded strings here. I'm a little OCD that way, maybe. Speaking of yak shading. Alright. Should register property usage. So, if I have a proxy, for something with a message, actually, let's give it a, let's just use message. And then I pull it out of the proxy, then I would expect that my builder here doesn't have... I need a builder with listener. Listener. Property use analyzer. So here I am calling it a listener already, and that's not what I called it. So the rename's pending. When I use it here, I would expect that the listener what did I call that method? Get referenced properties would contain the message. How do we work here? So I'd expected a message, got a nothing, and that's good because I'm not actually put anything in it quite yet. I did try to do that. Now, here's the fun thing. I bet I'm going to have tests fail. Yeah, because this is undefined. So this just kind of optional. Should it be optional? It's certainly not going to be optional in my usage here. I think maybe it just shouldn't be optional. So that means that I probably should always be building the builder with a listener. Just use those. Can't read property, register property if undefined. Read-only proxy builder. Should have a thing. Using the listener, giving it a listener, creating a listener. What am I missing? I have process a simple rule. What's different about should process a simple rule? Simple or single? Simple. The Maxim-Engine it's doing this thing here that really ought to be passed in. Don't like newing that up there. So when I create myself a new Maxim-Engine, only proxy builder. Reaching inside it here. Let's just do this. Property build of undefined. You know what? I'm running this under Nick. That's messing up all my line numbers. Gonna have to fix that. You back to that for a second. Actually, I probably shouldn't. Oops. We have to run it. Maxim-Engine 21. Oh, maybe I should assign it. Would that help? Can't read property register property of undefined. Read only proxy builder line 11. So I need a property listener when I build it. And the property listener property use analyzer. That's getting nasty. getting better for me? All right. So it's registering the property usage. And that's just fine. I think that's a happy thing. Maybe? Yeah, it's a happy thing. Gotta remember to switch that. Bad streamer. Alright. When I had this all running on one computer, it was actually really easy because I could get OBS to automatically switch this when I popped up the terminal or the PowerShell. Now I'm doing this on two different computers. The IDE is on my laptop, and I'm pumping that into my desktop to stream. And I did that because at some point I'm going to be kind of mixing things up a little. I'll probably do a little streaming off the Mac. I was speaking to someone today about just iOS development and the work I do on one particular project is actually, you know, not too bad a thing to be able to show. So I might just do that. And this whole setup basically remains the same if I'm using the Mac or if I'm using the PC, which works nice for me. Of course, I can do all this work on the Mac. Oh well. Okay, so I'm passing tests that are telling me what? I have a thing, the property use analyzer that's being used by the read-only proxy to register all of the fields that I see. Let's just register a couple of them just for fun. Let's put a key in. And let's make sure that it only picks up on a single property usage. And then let's make sure multiple property usages. Does that really belong here? I don't think it does. It feels like I'm elaborating on the underlying behavior of that listener. And this isn't the place to do that. This is the place just to make sure that the data is passed back and forth between the thing that I'm testing, the read-only proxy builder, and the listener. So I don't need to do much to verify that. Let's just make sure that I get both of those. And then let's just verify in my property use analyzer that if I have a thing, oh, yeah, no, this isn't the place to do it. The read-only proxy builder is doing the thing. All right, let's do this. Single property usage. Multiple property usages. That should just have one. This one should have both. Yep. And I'm curious, so it should register nested property usages, because this is going to be a big kind of requirement. I'm going to want to be able to say I got a key, an object that's got a message. So a nested object situation here, and I'm going to want to say let A equal to proxy dot obj dot message, and then I'm going to want to make sure, oh now this becomes interesting, get reference properties to deep equal what? You know, here I'm going to get message followed by object, because that's the code that I wrote. But what I want to see here, you know, I feel like this is things referenced through the whole object graph. And I would almost rather see obj.message would I? Let me think about this for a moment. I'm using this to figure out that I touched OBJ, and if I have anything that modifies OBJ, I have to retouch OBJ to reevaluate it. I do need to know about OBJ. And I depend on the message in OBJ, so if anything touches the message in OBJ, then I need to know that I need to reevaluate the message. But how do I know which OBJ that was? See, this is going to be the interesting thing. So if I had several different circumstances, so let me see. It should discern nested properties of the same name, I guess. I don't know, I should probably make a better name for this later. And I feel like I'm about to fall into the bucket because it's getting late tonight. I may pick this up tomorrow. If I have a proxy for something really simple, let's say object A, which has a message one, and then object B, which has a message 2. You know, this becomes ambiguous, so if I let A, if I do that, then I expect that the listener right now will get me A followed by message. Oh, perhaps not. A is not defined. Oh, yeah. Well, so I use the proxy object. And that is not actually what I want, because I don't want to have to reprocess both object A and object B. So if something referenced A and only referenced A, I shouldn't be having to reevaluate object B. So whatever thing I'm using has to be able to resolve the path to the property. So I'm going to have to figure out how I want to represent that. Do I want to represent that as a is a I mean, I could use a dot notation within the string. I could use an array of properties leading down. I feel like the dotted string would be nice. I wouldn't expect properties to have a legit dot in them, but they could. I could end up with an object with a dot in it. Nothing keeping it from doing that. It'd be confusing. It'd be really weird, but somebody could do it. I don't want to preclude them. So it feels like I'm back to the multiple element array indicating the path. All right. I'm going to pause here, and I'm going to leave myself a little to-do note for tomorrow. Need to have a mechanism to discern these. Thinking of A followed by message. That lets me be specific about which message, the one in A or the one in B. All right, that feels like a nice thing to do. Let's commit for the night. I'm not going to push this up. I don't feel finished. What did I accomplish here? Starting to work out property listener and storage and reporting property references. Sounds like a plan. I'm going to push it up anyways. Who knows, my laptop could blow up in the middle of the night. Okay, I'm going to call it a night. It's been 45 minutes in, and thanks for anybody that stopped by. Thanks for pixelprod.co for that quick little tip. If only I'd seen it sooner, I could have been... it could have saved me some looking. It should have saved me some looking. And I will catch folks tomorrow just to see how much more trouble I can get myself into. Thanks for stopping by.